welcome back to the Build Your Empire podcast, where today I want to speak to you about some of the life-changing quotes, I guess you could say, that were shared with me that I've been able to pass on to many, many people. I was inspired by someone amazing actually to come and do this podcast. So there's a few things that I want to make sure that we cover off on. So you're going to see me, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're probably going to see me flicking between screens so that I can make sure that I stay on track. But firstly, one of the things that was shared with me, a lot of these are quotes that people have shared with me in my journeys for various different reasons, whether or not that was because I was, healing from trauma, or whether or not I was growing my business or overcoming challenges. So many people have shared their wisdom with me along the way. And sometimes I don't even remember where it came from, but, I heard it at the right time because I was ready to listen. And one of those is start as you mean to finish. And, it took me a little while to kind of ponder on that, is that, I would always, do things, whether that was in a relationship, whether in business, whether in friendships. And, if you had said to me, Mel, do you want to be doing this for the rest of your life? My answer would have been no. So I really wasn't looking at things, with the right pair of glasses on, I guess you could say. So, I was, let's talk about a relationship. I would do all the cooking and, make sure all the lunches were made and, really go out of my way to care for that person. Is that what I actually wanted to be doing? No, not at all. So in that situation, I needed to start as I meant to finish, which would have been creating really strong boundaries that, hey, you're an adult, you can look after yourself. It's not up to me to make sure that your lunches are cooked. So, hey, on a Sunday, get them done for yourself. If we talk about business, do you want to be working an 80-hour week? If the answer is no, then start as you mean to finish. And if you want to be able to create time freedom and choices, then you need to be making sure that the way that business is built is with smart systems that are going to allow you to earn while you sleep or earn while you travel. And a big one for me, I remember being in a free masterclass, and I remember them saying, you need to live within your top 3 values. And I was like, what do you mean? What? So if I just go and have fun, inspire people and communicate well, and, I'm going to be a millionaire and I'm going to have this amazing life, like, really? And, now I look at my life and all I do is live within my top 3 values, which is just out of control. That, yeah, it's correct that when you get your top 3 values aligned, 110% you can live within them and your life will be absolutely incredible. So, there's so many lessons that I've learned along the way, and some of them are incredibly funny. The people who said them to me were in fact the people that maybe hurt me the most, or they're the people in one case, I had somebody say to me that you need to walk away from every situation like a boss, meaning, consciously decide how you're going to handle situations so that you look like an absolute boss no matter what. And, really for me shifted a lot, because I used to get quite angry, if things didn't go my way, I'd have to, kick up about it, have a tantrum, and who do I need to speak to? And now I'm kind of like, right, how can I get this person to help me execute what it is that I want to execute without me ending up like the Karen at the end of it? So that was really, really important. Another big one that was said to me is, in order to heal a wound, you must stop touching it. Oh, that hit really hard, because for me, of years, like I've spoken about, of healing trauma from domestic violence, I have definitely ripped the Band-Aid off a few times. I've ripped the Band-Aid off and checked the wound, meaning, I've engaged with that person again, or I've replied to a message or an email, and I should have just left the wound to heal. And that's not saying that we need to cover things up and we don't need to do the work. What that means is stop checking in on that person, stop caring about what they're doing, stop caring if they're thinking about you, stop playing the game. Remove yourself completely from what it looks like to be in their presence, because that's what got you to where you are, which leads me to the next one, which is, if you can create this much chaos in your life, imagine how much success you can create. And again, I was like, whoa, I had put so much unconscious time into sabotaging relationships that, imagine if I had have put in the time to heal those wounds and create strong relationships, which is where we are now. It takes the same amount of energy to be able to create that. And I just didn't realize that I was buying into so much drama. And what that was giving me was that feeling of, I feel needed and I feel wanted and I feel important, right? But I was getting it from all the wrong people. Yeah. And I needed to be able to give those things to myself. And I needed to be able to upgrade my circle. I was rowing the boat flat out. And most of the people sitting behind me in that boat were drilling holes in it. Therefore, we have this stop-start effect where we make a change and then we go back. We make a change and we go back. We make a change and we go back. And, that is the people that are drilling holes in your boat. And I challenge you, while you're listening to this, if it resonates, to have a think about who is drilling holes in your boat and why do you feel like you have to stay loyal to that person? Why do you feel as though you have to keep that person in your life? Because quite often I know a lot of people say, oh, but it's family. But so what? It doesn't matter. If there's a certain way that you want to be treated and there's a certain life that you want to live, it's really, really important that you're making sure that the people that are in your circle are only going to elevate where you want to go, not diminish what you want to create. That's a really, really big one. And the instant gratification, especially in the world of social media right now, we're putting up photos of ourselves because we want people to be like, oh my God, you look amazing, or oh my God, I can't believe you did that. And it's finding that happy medium where you're able to share the wins. I'm huge on sharing the wins, and that's how I've been able to create my business, is sharing that journey. But I'm also, I don't have to take photos every 3 minutes of every good thing that I do either. And, giving to charities and helping people. I often see people videoing it and showcasing that they gave away something, or they helped somebody, or they went and, helped the needy on the streets or whatever. And they're documenting the whole thing and then putting it on social media. And I quite often wonder how much of that is for, education purposes and how much of it is for instant gratification, to be told you're a good boy or you're a good girl. And, again, that goes back to potential childhood wounds where, were you told that as a child, or are you seeking that now? And, that's not my area of expertise. And I'm not here to talk about how to heal wounds, because I'm very much in the trenches myself, still on our healing journey 4.5 years later. But it's becoming really mindful. One thing a lot of people say to me is, do you drink coffee? And no, I don't. I don't drink coffee, and I don't take any type of stimulants when it comes to energy drinks, pre-workouts, any of that type of stuff, because I believe that a mental state is something that you can get into if you have the right tools and know how to do so. And do I get tired? Yes. Do I potentially eat sugar and I get an afternoon hit? Yes. Am I addicted to that? No. Do I need a coffee in the morning, which again is something that I hear people say, I need a coffee to be able to function? No. I mean, coffee is just another addiction. And I would say coffee is probably a far greater addiction, as in how many times it needs to be executed, than drugs. People are drinking 4 or 5 coffees a day. I would say that a lot of drug addicts aren't even doing drugs that many times in a day. Now, am I saying that coffee is going to wreck your life and, you're going to have all these adverse reactions like you do drugs? No. But what I'm saying is it's that mental state where you are telling yourself and you are believing that this is something that you need in order to function, and it is not true. If you were stuck out in the jungle and you were there for 2 months, guess what? You wouldn't have any coffee and you would probably still be alive. So, you know, for me, it was really, really important. Coming from a background of addiction and drugs, I really needed to make sure that if I'm going to quit things that are no good for me and they don't help me in any way grow myself, my body, my health, or my business, that it doesn't exist in my life. So, and that was one of those things. I didn't have to quit coffee because I never actually started. But again, you know, it's about mastering thyself. And mastering thyself, I think, has, you know, personally, I believe, has a lot to do with even your day-to-day habits on how you show up when people aren't watching is really, really key. Mirrors. People are mirrors to you of your unfinished business. So people will mirror to you the things that you need to work on. So we will say, oh my God, I hate how she does this. And really, actually, it's a moment for you to actually have a look at, well, how do you do that in your life? You know, it might be that, you know, somebody, you know, I hate how she's always late. She never rings me, never communicates. Okay, well, how is that you? Where do you do that in your life? And how have you made changes in your life to not be that person? And I found that, you know, especially these days, I'm so incredibly grateful for what my life looks like. I'm a master manifester. You know, we have a great life. I'm able to bring things to fruition. We are able to create business very fast. And I love that now have so many incredible people coming into my life, whether or not that's in business, clients, or just random people that I'm meeting through others. I'm finding this overwhelming feeling of connection that I've always sought. Communication is one of my highest values. And I'm meeting some really, really amazing people that align with my values, and they also align with my interests when it comes to lifestyle as well. So now that I've become really conscious of who my circle is and how I am mirroring and being a mirror, it's really, really cool to see, well, no wonder I'm, you know, surrounded by absolutely incredible people. And no wonder I keep meeting amazing people, because I have committed every single day to being better. I've committed every single day to healing. I've committed every single day to recovery. And, you know, I've committed to healing wounds to make sure that I don't bleed on people that didn't cut me. You know, and I'm being rewarded for that now with the people that come my way and step into my arena. Nervous system regulation has been a big one for me. And no, I haven't gone to the extremities that I could, you know, with breath work and meditation and all of those things. But for me, what that looks like is, you know, and a lot of you might see this on my socials, is heading up the beach in my truck. And I found that, you know, whilst I'm in a business arena, I'm quite fidgety, quite nervous, believe it or not. I do struggle to make eye contact for long periods of time. But when I'm up the beach, my body is calm. My nervous system feels regulated. And I think it's really important. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You're going to see heaps of people saying, in order to regulate yourself, you need to do breath work and you need to, you know, be able to box breathe for 30 seconds and blah, blah, blah. You don't need to do any of that. You need to find what regulates your nervous system for you, what works for you. I'm massive on lifestyle, and I'm not interested in taking time out of my lifestyle to bring in new habits like meditation and breath work at this point in my life. I'm not saying they're not going to be great for me, but it's not something that I'm passionate about or interested in. So I've been able to find a way to calm my body in the same way that meditation probably would, but I'm just sitting on a beach, quiet, still. And I've noticed that I'm not jittering. I'm not struggling to make eye contact. I'm not struggling with my breath. Yeah. So again, find that thing for you. And most of the time, that's going to mean that you must disconnect from what has already allowed you to not be able to create that and do something different. Okay. So, you know, there's so many that I could go on with, but there's some really, really big ones that I've been able to share with people recently that's been a, you know, what seems to be a game changer for their life. But, just really reflecting on past experiences and who you want to become, and making sure that, if you want a different outcome, that you're doing something different in order to create that outcome. You are showing up in a different way. You are reacting or not reacting at all. The way that you reply to a message, or the way that you take a phone call, or the way that you take your power back, I think, again, was a pivotal moment for me when I don't know whether someone said it to me or I heard it, but I heard it at the right time. And it was, you need to take your power back. And, for the last few years, that's something that I've concentrated on, is I don't need to explain myself to anybody. I don't need to tell anybody why I've made the certain decisions that I have. I don't need to give anyone my time if I don't feel as though they're worthy of it and they're going to execute on what I'm sharing. And that is taking your power back. It is that proximity is power. And I don't give away my time for free, and I don't give my time away freely anymore. One of the biggest mistakes that I see humans make is that you expect that tomorrow is coming. You expect it, right? It's not that you're sure that it's going to happen, or you're not really thinking about it. You expect. We make plans in a month's time, 2 months' time, 3 months' time. We buy tickets to festivals in a month's time, concerts in a month's time, and we expect that we're going to be showing up. And I've always lived my life not expecting that tomorrow is promised. So that means that I try and use up every single moment that I can, to the point where people go, Mel, I don't know how you function, how you do. You're always busy. You're always doing something. And to me, it's just, I'm living my life to my fullest. I'm making sure that every single minute counts. I'm making sure that, for me, I'm not spending my weekends cleaning my house, right? Because it's of a low value to me. And I would rather pay somebody to do that so that I get some of this time back and I can enjoy this life that I've been given. Okay, so they are some of my big takeaways, and some of the things that I've personally implemented myself and in my business, but also had to invest and learn as well. Because, articulating this world is one thing, but articulating this world with trauma, growth, challenges, businesses, kids, partners, and all the things that comes with that is another. So hopefully you've taken a little bit away from some of those things, because they have been absolute game changers for me. And I know that everybody that is on this journey, you might have just heard something today that was, that pivotal moment for you. You may have just been ready today to hear one of those things.